A reading from the book of Joseph, Part 2, Chapter 1. No Vacancy. Arriving in Bethlehem and searching for shelter, the holy couple was rejected by the innkeepers and residents. The town of Bethlehem was full of visitors coming to register for the census, which made for overcrowding and no vacancies. Joseph began to feel desperate at not finding a place to stay. To add to the anxiousness, the time for Jesus to be born was at hand. Finally, he went to one last house and begged for help. The owner apologized and stated that he too was out of room, and the only unoccupied spot was a cave just outside of town, which the animals used. Joseph accepted the man's suggestion, feeling relieved but also ashamed. Joseph felt as though he had failed, that he could not do better for his beloved, and his most pure heart was pierced with sorrow. Venerable Maria d'Agreda relates, "It was 9 o'clock at night when the most faithful Joseph, full of bitter and heart-rending sorrow, returned to his spouse and said, 'My sweetest lady, my heart is broken with sorrow at the thought of not being able to shelter thee as thou deserves.'" One traditional prayer, the 30 Days Prayer to Saint Joseph, refers to the wariness of Saint Joseph in Bethlehem. "I ask my favor by the wariness and suffering you endured when you found no shelter at the inn of Bethlehem for the Holy Virgin, nor a house where the Son of God could be born. Then, being everywhere refused, you had to allow the Queen of Heaven to give birth to the world's Redeemer in a cave." Not only was our Lord's birth in Bethlehem predicted in the Old Testament, but also the surroundings in which he was to be born were envisioned, the rejection of the townspeople and the presence of the animals at his birth. In the Gospel of St. Matthew, an appropriate phrase can also be applied to the rejection in Bethlehem. Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3, "The ox knoweth his master, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel hath not known me, and my people hath not understood." The Gospel of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 42-43, "For I was hungry, and you gave me not to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me not to drink. I was a stranger, and you took me not in."